rainbows, welcome back to my channel. So I thought it was about time that I did another complete collection of the Lime Crime Velvetines. I did do a swatch back when they only had 28 Velvetines in the range, but now they're up to 42. So I have every single one of them right here, and I'm going to be swatching them all for you guys. Before I go into it too much, I always get asked this question. I purchase all of my Lime Crime products myself, and I purchase it directly off the Lime Crime website. I always use PayPal for all of my online orders, never had any issues and never had any problems with PayPal. If you guys don't like Lime Crime, that's completely fine. Everyone's, you know, obviously entitled to their own opinion. I do have a blog post all about the Lime Crime controversy and all that jazz, so if you guys want to read the blog post and want to know why I'm still supporting Lime Crime, then definitely head over there and check it out. I'll link it in the description box below for you guys. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, become a part of the rainbow family. It would honestly mean so much to me. And if you guys want more in-depth reviews on each of the Lime Crime collections or other lip swatching videos, then definitely check out the playlist. I've got heaps of videos in it, so yeah, check it out. Alright, so this first shade is called Marshmallow. This is described as being a nude pink on the Lime Crime website. I think it is one of their lightest shades. It is definitely a really gorgeous shade, very wearable and pretty much goes with anything. Hi.
Hi Rainbow.
Hello.
I'm going to play golf.
Oh, okay.
See you later.
Have fun.
Oh, you're not recording, are you?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, sorry.
It's alright. I'll just have to put that in the video.
Alright, see you after.
See ya. Have fun.
I'll win. Make sure you win, I will.
Yeah, make sure you win.
I will.
So this next shade is called Prairie. Again, this is one of their newer shades. This is a gorgeous nude. I would say it's slightly darker than Marshmallow, and it does have more of a pinky undertone rather than a nude undertone. It is described as being a dusky nude on the Lime Crime website. This next shade is called Blondie. So yet again, this is one of the newer shades. This is one of the metallic ranges, and this is described on the Lime Crime site as being a rose gold. Definitely has a real glossy kind of metallic finish to it, and it is a super pretty shade. This next shade is called Cupid, and it's described on the Lime Crime site as being a petal pink. It is definitely a really nice light pink. It's something that is extremely wearable that you could actually wear every day. Very similar to my natural lip color, so I actually really like this shade. It's just a nice shade which I think would complement anything. This next shade is called Faded, and this is described on the Lime Crime site as being a light mauve. Definitely has that kind of purplish undertone to it, but it's still quite a natural wearable shade. This next shade is called Bleach, and this is described as being a peachy nude. Definitely has more of that yellowy, almost orange undertone to the color. Again, it's still quite a natural shade, and still really wearable and still really pretty as well. So this next shade is called Cashmere. So this is described as being a greyish color, so grey beige. Definitely on the cooler side, but I still feel that it is quite wearable. It does have that kind of grey undertone to the color, and it is a darker nude, but again, still really nice. This next shade is called Buffy, and this is described as being a buff nude. I would say it does have that similar kind of cashmere feel to it. It is more of a cooler kind of color and along the kind of browny nude shades, but again, still a really nice color. This was part of one of their limited edition collections. I think you can still get this one. So here we have Polly. This is described as being a pink mauve on the Lime Crime site. It definitely has like some kind of purpley fuchsia undertone to it. It is quite a dark shade, but again, it's not like too dark that it's not wearable to wear every day if you wanted to. So this next shade is Teddy Bear. So this is described as being a lilac brown on the Lime Crime site. So it definitely does have a lot of that brownness to it. It is quite a dark shade again, but I still don't feel that it's like super dark. It does really have that purpley kind of hue to it. Definitely in certain lights you can see it a little bit more, but again, gorgeous, gorgeous color. So this next shade is Flamingo. This is described as being a bright pink. I think this is one of the shades that is actually UV reacting or glows under UV light. Definitely very, very bright in your face pink. As well, I feel the formula with this whole collection is a little bit watery in a way. It does take a few coats to get a really nice opaque coat. But obviously in this video I'm just doing one coat of every shade so you guys can get a true picture of how opaque they are. This next shade is Pink Velvet, described as being a true pink on the Lancome site. And yeah, it definitely is. I feel it's the perfect pink. It's not too bright, not too dark, not too in your face, but it's just a gorgeous pink which really can complement anything. So this next shade is True Love. It's described as being a vibrant pinky red, and yes, it definitely is. It's definitely very, very vibrant. Not like fluorescent vibrant, but still just super, super bright. Really gorgeous shade. I really like it. It's very eye-catching, but still very wearable as well. So this next shade is Utopia. This shade unfortunately is no longer available on the Lancome website because this is one of my favorite shades and I wish it was still available. But it has like this kind of fuchsia-y pinky purple hue to it. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. This next shade is called Pansy. Again, it is no longer available on the Lancome website, but this is just a intense purple color. I actually really do like it. This next shade is called Rave. It is described as being a electric lavender on the Lancome site. As well, I saw a little note that this is a UV one as well. I'm not sure if Lancome have changed their descriptions slightly of the products from the last time I did this video, but some seemed a little bit different to me. I might be wrong, but yes. So yeah, apparently this is a UV reactive lip color as well. This next shade is called Wisteria. It's described as being a dusty lilac color. So it definitely is on the cooler side, I think. You've really got those kind of purple tones to it, but it is quite a nude shade at the same time. It's almost like a nude with a bit of lilac to it, but yes, definitely very kind of muted but very pretty as well. This next shade is called Beat It. Again, this is one of the limited edition ones. I'm pretty sure this one is still available though on the Lancome site. This one is described as being a deep berry pink. It definitely has a lot of like wine porty kind of undertones to it. Gorgeous, gorgeous color. This next shade is Fetish and it is described as being a deep plum on the Lancome site. It varies quite a lot from Beat It. Beat It is more of a red tone, where this is definitely more of a purpley kind of hue to it. This next shade is Jinx, and this is described as being an eggplant shade. I definitely feel that this color has more of a kind of grey, bluey undertone rather than anything that's too purple. I mean, it's definitely purple toned. It does have that real eggplanty kind of color to it, but it's definitely on the cooler side. So it's much, much cooler toned than what Fetish is. This next shade is Raven. So this was part of the Marshmallow and the Raven duo, the Two Moods duo. This is one of the darkest shades. It is the darkest purple color. So it is considered a purple, but it is almost verging on black. It is a very, very deep, dark color, but very gorgeous at the same time. This next shade is called Peacock. Again, it was part of the limited edition collection that Lancome brought out. This one I'm pretty sure is no longer available on the Lancome site, but this is just a gorgeous peacocky, bluey, green lip color. Very quite dark, but still very jewel toned as well. It's absolutely gorgeous. This next shade is Thistle, and this is described as being a grungy grey blue. So it's definitely not grey, but it's definitely not blue either. It does have that real kind of cool toned milkiness to it in a way. It's quite difficult to explain, but gorgeous, gorgeous color. This next shade is called Teacup. This is another UV reactive color. It's described as being a periwinkle blue. It is a very light kind of bright blue color. I do find it quite hard to get a really even coverage of this color. It just seems to go quite streaky quite quickly, but again, it is still a really nice color. This next shade is Cement, and it's described as being a cool grey color. Definitely it is quite a wearable color if you would consider grey being a wearable color. I find it's not like too dark, but it still has like almost a nudie kind of yellowish hint to it, which I think does make it quite wearable. This next shade is Mercury, and again this is one of the metallic shades, one of the newer shades that have come out. This is described as being a metallic mauve. I definitely think it's got a real kind of silver hint to it, but I'm really impressed with how metallic it looks even once the colour's dry. It doesn't lose that kind of metallic sheen, which I think is really, really nice. This next colour is Wicked. It's described as being a blood red. Definitely a very deep, dark, rich red. I absolutely love this colour. I think it's one of my go-to dark red shades. It's just gorgeous. It's not too brown, but then it's not too reddy orange. It's like the perfect combination. This next colour is Saddle. So this is described as being a rusty brown shade. So I definitely think it's got a real kind of yellowy undertone to it. It's definitely a really warm mustardy kind of brown colour. It's really, really pretty, but it's quite contrasting from any other of the shades. This next shade is called Salem. So this definitely isn't as yellow as what Saddle is. It's more of a true brown, which is actually described as being a true brown on the Lime Crime website. This next shade is called Shroom, and it's described as being a camel brown colour. So again, this is yellow, very, very yellow. It's the lightest brown colour that Lime Crime do have. I find, for me personally, I probably wouldn't really wear it that much. It does have a real kind of mustardy tone to it, but I think this would be a perfect nude for people with darker skin tones. But yeah, it's still quite a nice shade. This next shade is one of the latest shades, again from the metallic collection. This is called Lana, and it's described as being a burnished bronze shade. Definitely it still has that gorgeous kind of metallic finish even once it's dry. Goes on beautifully, very nice and smooth, and yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous colour. So this next shade is called Saint. It's described as being a cranberry red. It definitely does have, again, that kind of winey, porty hue to it. But it almost has like a kind of orangey undertone to it as well. I really like this colour. It just applies beautifully, and yeah, it's probably one of my favourites. This next shade is called Rustic. It's described as being a earthy red. I definitely think it does have a real kind of blushy pink, terracotta-y kind of colour to it. It's not super, super earthy that it's brown, but it's again not super red either. It's just like a perfect kind of in-between shade. So this next shade is called Riot. It's described as being a red brown. So I think it definitely doesn't have that real kind of reddy hue to it. It almost has like a lilac-y kind of undertone to it in a way. But yes, again, very, very nice colour. This next shade is called Pumpkin, and this is described as being a brick red shade. I definitely think it does have a real yellowy kind of base tone to it. I'm not sure if it's picking up on camera, but that's just how I feel. So this next shade is Red Velvet. This is described as being a true red. It's not too blue, it's not too pink based. It's just like the perfect, natural, gorgeous red. This next shade is called Suedeberry, and it's described as being a coral red colour. It definitely is very bright. It has a lot of bite and a lot of pop to it, but again, it's one of my favorite shades. This was actually one of the first ones I ever purchased from Lime Crime. You guys can see how old it is. I actually should repurchase it. This next shade is called Squash. It's described as being a light orange on the Lime Crime site. It definitely really has a lot of yellow kind of undertone and hue to it. So it's quite a yellowy shade. So this shade is called Xenon. So this is described as being a metallic gold. This color I do find quite sheer. If you really want to get it like super, super gold, you'll probably need 2 coats. This is just the 1 coat, and I do find it quite kind of sheer, watered down, but this color is actually really, really nice laid on top of other Lime Crime Velvetines. Gorgeous, gorgeous shade. This next shade is called Trouble. This is described as being an olive color, and it's funny because I never actually used to like this color. I never thought it was, you know, complementing my skin, but that was when I had all different colors of hair. So this is actually the first time I've worn it when I've had dark hair. I actually like it a lot more now that I have dark hair. I always used to say that this was perfectly designed for people with dark hair that were quite tan, and I just thought this color would be gorgeous. I actually do really like the shade now that I have dark hair. It's funny. Yeah. This next shade is called Alien. This is described as being a, again, UV reactive black light green color. Again, I don't really like the formula that much with this one because I just find it really hard to get like a perfectly smooth application. I find it does go quite streaky, it does crack a fair bit and just look a little bit uneven. But again, it is a super bright green color, so if you're looking for a color like this, it's pretty awesome. Okay, so we have reached the lucky last shade. Whew, I'm so relieved. My mouth, oh, it just feels irritated. So this is the last shade. This is Black Velvet. It's described as being a true black. And yes, this is again a really awesome shade if you're ever looking for a true matte black that just lasts really well. This is the one to go. Halloween's coming up, so yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely check out some of the other videos in the playlist if you wanted a little bit more of an in-depth review. And of course, as I mentioned before, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, become a part of the Rainbow family, and of course give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Alright, I love you guys, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye! This is what I've been using to take off every lip swatch. Ew. That is just epic.